Hey guys, it's Jess, and welcome to my couch and my totally screwed up hair, but I don't care. So, it hit the fan this Memorial Day weekend here at our house. Ow, I'm in a lot of pain. And I will tell you all about it. And it's gonna have to be two separate videos because that's how much it hit the fan. If I tried to tell both of these stories in one video, it would be like probably a 40-minute video. That's how much it hit the fan. So I'll start with me because it started firstest, sort of. Anyway, so Saturday night, early Sunday morning, sometime in there when I was asleep, I started having a horrendous coughing fit. It happens. Yeah. And I'd been kind of debating for a couple of days, like, is it maybe time to start IV antibiotics? Is it not? I don't know. So I woke up on Sunday in horrid pain. Horrid. Did I say horrid? It was horrid. The spot in my left lung was just like very angry, and all down like the left side of my ribs. I'll show you on my right side because that's the part you can see right now. Like all down the side of my rib cage on the left side. So hurting, much pain. And it is because I was coughing so hard. It's called costochondritis, which is basically where you strain all like the muscles and the cartilage and the things in your rib cage, and it hurts so very much. I can't even begin to tell you. And so it's Sunday on a holiday weekend, and so I pretty much know that I'm gonna need to go to the ER to get this dealt with and get some antibiotics because I can't be in this much pain constantly. I can't do it. I can't do my treatments when I hurt like this. It hurts to cough. It hurts to breathe. It hurts to be alive. Like, everything hurts. It hurts, okay? So, my doctor, my hospital, etc. is like 70 miles away, and I'm like, oh God, I hurt so bad right now. Not 70 miles from now. I hurt right now, immediately. So I go to the local emergency room that's really close to me, and so I get in there, get checked in, they draw some blood, get a chest x-ray, whatnot, and they call whoever's on call at my doctor's office for the weekend. And so they have not given me any pain meds, okay? By the time all this got done, I'd been there like a couple hours. No pain meds, no nothing. And so the doctor comes back in and she says, okay, so talk to Dr. such and such at your regular doctor's office. I don't know who he was, never seen this person before. So all he's going off of is like my chart in the computer system. So ER doc says, spoke to him, and, so we're going to give you, antibiotic A and B. And I said, well, antibiotic B, like, I really don't tolerate it very well at all. Like, it makes me so nauseous and vomity, and like, it doesn't matter if I take something for nausea before I take the pills. I'm like, I can't do it. I was like, I can take that one by IV because it's not going right into my stomach, but even then I'm still kind of nauseous. But I was like, I can't take, I was like, I don't think I can take that antibiotic. I won't be able to eat. If I do eat, I won't be able to keep anything down, which is only going to aggravate my pain even more. I was like, I can't do it. And she was just like really pushing the subject of like, you have to. You don't have a whole lot of other options. You have to take this, blah, blah, blah. She's like, and she said, have you tried Zofran for the nausea? I was like, yeah, it's not good enough. She says, have you tried Phenergan? And I was like, I hate Phenergan because it makes you really drowsy. I was like, but, you know, I guess it's worth a try. And so she says, okay, I'll call in a prescription for Phenergan as well. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I said, so what about the pain? And she says, well, you're being followed by a pain specialist, so you need to contact them. Because it's our policy that if you're being followed by pain management, we don't prescribe narcotics here in the emergency room. And I was like, okay, well, my pain specialist only prescribes narcotics if they have like a terminal patient for like, you know, somebody with like terminal cancer or something. And she's like, well, you know, you're also on gabapentin, which is the drug I started for the chronic lung pain. And I was like, well, if the gabapentin was enough to control what I have going on now, I wouldn't be here. Because I came in for pain. So if my gabapentin was covering the pain, why would I be in the emergency room? And she was just adamant, like, no, we're not going to give you anything, da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, that's ridiculous. I can't make it through the weekend like this. I have to be able to do my treatments. I have to be able to cough without feeling like I'm going to pass out. Like, I have to be able to keep my lungs clear, you know, and she's just like, nope, 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 not going to happen. I know this woman thought that I was drug seeking. So I'm like, is there an administrator I can talk to? And she says, well, I can send in the charge nurse. And I was just like, by this time I'm like crying, okay, because I hurt so bad and she's telling me she won't help me. And so I'm like, what is the charge nurse gonna do? Charge nurses can't write prescriptions. And I didn't buy her whole story about it's our policy, because like, if I went in there with a broken arm, they're not going to not give me anything for the pain. You know what I mean? Like, just because I see a pain specialist. Like, they're not going to send me away with a broken bone and just be like, well, take Tylenol. What? Excuse you? So I'm just like, I don't believe her. She thinks I'm drug seeking. Blah, blah, blah. And, so I talked to the charge nurse, which was a waste of time. And then, so like, still like hysterically crying, and I don't get any cell service in there. So like, I pulled up my dad in my phone and I handed my phone to the charge nurse, and I was like, please just call my dad and like, he'll come and get me and just like, get me out of here. I was like, I'm going to go to another hospital because this is a waste of my time. I shouldn't even come here. You guys refuse to help me. You know, I need to just get me out of here, you know? And so, she writes down my dad's number and goes off. And my nurse came in and said, okay, well, we're going to de-access your port now. And I was like, no, you're not. I said, I'm leaving here. I'm going to go to another hospital because you guys refuse to help me. You're not de-accessing my port because they're just going to access it again, and I'm not going through that. And he's like, well, it's our policy. We can't leave you. We can't let you leave with your port accessed. And I was like, pardon my French here, but I was like, bullshit. Because I have actually gone to that emergency room before when I was having trouble accessing my port. It was actually my old port that was harder to access. And like, I couldn't get it one time, and I was starting antibiotics, so it needed to be accessed. It was something that could not wait. I went to that very same emergency room just so they could check it out, hopefully get it accessed for me, which they did. And then I could just go home and start my antibiotics. And so obviously they accessed it there, and I left with it accessed. So I'm like, I don't believe you. Like, I think they thought that I was going to try and like score some heroin or something and shoot up into my port. I don't even know. So I'm like, no, you're not deaccessing my port. I'm a patient. I have rights. It's my body. I say what happens to it. You're not deaccessing my port. Nobody from this hospital is touching me again today. Just call my dad, get him down here. And so he leaves, and like I get up, I put my clothes on, and I walk out of the room because I need to use the bathroom. And my nurse is sitting right there at the desk. My room was right by the desk. And he's like, in this snotty tone of voice, he goes, "What are you looking for?" Like he thinks I'm just going to walk out or something. And I'm holding an IV bag because I'm still hooked up to a bag of fluids. And I was like, "The bathroom." So he points me in the direction of the bathroom. So I go use the bathroom. I'm going back to my room. He's still at the desk, and I say, "Have you called my dad yet?" And by this time, it's been like 15 minutes since I gave my dad's phone number to the charge nurse. And he's like, I was just going to call your dad right now. I'm like, all right, whatever. And so I go back to my room. Another 10, 15 minutes or so goes by. And he comes into my room and goes, "Okay, I called your dad and he's on his way." And I was like, "So I gave you my dad's phone number half an hour ago, and you just now called him. That's great. That's really nice, folks. Thank you so much." And so by this point, like I'm somewhat sort of calmed down a little bit some more, but it's hard because I'm in excruciating pain and they're not helping me and I'm just so upset. So, I work on getting myself calmed down while I'm waiting for my dad to get there. And my dad gets there. Luckily, he's not too far away. He gets there and like I'm going to start crying again. Like I immediately start crying because thank God, here's my daddy. He's going to deal with it. He's going to get me out of there. He's going to get me help. I always know that I can count on my dad whenever I need help with anything. He's just a wonderful, awesome dad. So he's there and like, so I go off on a crying jag again and he's like, "What's going on?" And I tell him, I was like, "I hurt so bad and they won't give me anything. They won't help me." And he goes, "Well, they said they wanted to access your port." And I was like, "No." I told them no, because I need to go to a different hospital. They're just going to access it again there. And I told them they're not de-accessing me. And he says, "Okay, let's get out of here." So I had gotten my clothes on already, had my shoes on. I was ready to go as soon as my dad got there. And so he grabbed my purse and we left. And luckily, like I didn't sign any discharge papers, nothing, just left. I had enough and I wasn't going to deal with them trying to say that they were going to de-access my port anymore. I wasn't going to fight with them anymore. So we just left. And luckily, the charge nurse, the doctor, and my nurse were nowhere to be seen. And so they were clearly off with other patients or something. And so we just walked out. And we had barely gotten out of the parking lot for the hospital when my dad's cell phone rings. And it's my nurse. And I picked it up because my dad was driving. And the nurse is like, "You left without your prescriptions or letting us de-access your port." And I was like, "Yeah, I did. Because I told you guys I was going to another hospital and that I didn't want my port de-accessed. So yes, I left." And he's like, "Well, we have to fill out such and such form because you could end up getting an infection or something and your port could have to be surgically removed." And I was like, "Well, that's not going to happen because I'm not an idiot and I know how to maintain my port." And I just hung up on the guy. And that felt really good, by the way. And so my dad takes me home really quick just so that I can pack a bag, because at this point I'm just like, you know, obviously to get the proper kind of help, to get antibiotics that I'm not going to end up just throwing up with constantly. I probably need to be admitted to the hospital because, it's a holiday weekend. Home IV antibiotics are not going to be able to be set up until Tuesday at the absolute soonest. And so I wanted to have, a few of my things. And when I'm in the hospital, I wear my own jams. I wanted my own, like, toiletries and things like that. And, I brought my, I don't know if I've ever showed you guys my really cool purple plush frog named Ferdinand. He's awesome. He makes a good, like, little kind of pillow, like, neck pillow sort of deal. And he's also good for, like, splinting when I cough, if I'm having any sort of pain issue that makes coughing difficult. He's great for that. So he always goes to the hospital with me. So I just, came home, grabbed some essentials, tossed them in a bag real quick, and off we were down to University of Washington emergency room. And I really considered going down to my hospital in Tacoma. And I know my dad asked if I wanted to go there. I know he would have taken me there if that's what I wanted. But, I had already sat in one emergency room for hours and hours with absolutely no help. And I was just so done. I was like, no, let's just go to UW because I don't think I can make it all the way down to Tacoma. I just don't want to sit in a car for that long, and I need help. I needed help many, many hours ago. I want to wait as little as possible. So we get down to the University of Washington ER, get checked in. Almost as soon as I got into a room, a doctor came in to talk to me, find out what's going on. And so she goes, okay, so I'm going to order some blood work, chest x-ray, and some pain meds for you. And so she did all that, and before anything else happened, I got my pain meds, and it was just like, so I finally had some relief. It was just amazing. And so, I told my dad, I was like, you can go home now. They're gonna keep me at least until Tuesday so that I can, we can get this pain under control and I can start antibiotics and just get this show on the road. So that was Sunday evening that I got admitted to the hospital, and luckily my primary care doctor, was on service on Memorial Day, Monday, and so I love him to death, and so he was overseeing my care that day, and so I was just able to sit back, relax, not stress over anything. I totally and completely trusted him to handle my business for me so that I could just relax, rest, eat, just do what I needed to do and not have to worry about what was going on. So unfortunately, Monday was just kind of a day to hang out, get meds, stuff like that. Unfortunately, Tuesday, there was just not enough time for, to get home IV antibiotics set up because I'm sure that my infusion company had kind of an influx of stuff coming in because it was a 3-day weekend. And so I wasn't really a priority per se, just because I was in the hospital and I was getting taken care of already. And so I did spend Tuesday night in the hospital as well, but got out on Wednesday, and I'm all set up on my antibiotics, been doing those. I have pain medicine so that I can do my airway clearance. I don't feel like I'm gonna die when I cough. So yeah, the next couple of weeks are just gonna be about hanging out, resting, taking care of myself, doing what I gotta do to get better. And the moral of the story here is, you're never too old to need your daddy. That's what I'm saying, okay? I do not know what I would have done if my dad wasn't so close and so, like, you know, even from the time I was a little kid, you know, my dad has never hesitated to drop everything when one of his kids needed him, and 35 years later he's still doing that, and I'm so grateful for my dad. And you know, I know he says that, you know, no thanks necessary, but of course I do thank him for, you know, just being my dad, being so awesome, taking care of me, helping me when I sent up the bat signal. You know, he dropped everything and came to my rescue and got me help, and so grateful for him for that. And really, I don't know what I would have done without him. So yeah, just love you so much, Daddy. You're probably not going to see this because you don't really internet all that much, but if you ever do, thank you for being my dad. Thank you for being an awesome dad. I love you so much, and because of you, I am already feeling much better. And thank you. I cannot say thank you enough. Thank you is insufficient for everything that you did for me this weekend, let alone my entire life. So I love you, and I will check in with you guys and let you know how things go and how I'm doing, and stay tuned for the next video about what happened here at home while I was in the hospital. Bye!